handicap tournament. Everybody at like 70% handicap. The same handicap, but everybody's just at 70%. I feel like this would be really good for like people who are great with Blink Stalkers. And that's it. Anyways, no Blink Stalkers in this match. For better or for worse. Spawning in the upper right-hand corner of torches, we've got, for the Shopify Rebellion, ByuN. And his opponent in the lower left-hand corner, it is Rogue. We got 2 world champions in here. Hot damn. Man. It's cool. It's cool to put on a tournament that world champions play in on a regular basis. It's disproportional. For example, Zealot's just 2-shot Ling, so it's a large buff for Zealot versus Ling. Interesting. Interesting. I still feel like putting everybody in a tournament at a large handicap, it would be fun just like once with players who don't know what to take advantage of. Because like, I guess if you know, oh, this is really good for this like weird interaction at the early game, you could just proxy Zealots and it would like die, right? You could just kill them or something, you know, if you happen to know the ins and outs of it. But I feel like for players, it would just like things would start out normally and then like a Reaper would get in or something and just be like demolishing worker lines. It would really benefit the players who don't take any damage. Adepts with 2-shot workers. Cannons would 1-shot workers. Ah, that's... See, this is good stuff. This is good stuff. This would be good filler content for like a home story cup or something. You know, get like a... Honestly, you could even do like a free-for-all. Like a 7-player free-for-all with 70% or 90% handicap on. Just really crank it up, make it insane. I bet we can make it happen. Now, Rogue seemed to be checking if there was maybe a third base going down. I do like that. On this map, I think it'd be really easy to try to get away with something in one of these less scouted spots. I feel like it is likely, I would say, to be... I don't know, it feels a bit more common to open this up and maybe go for the more aggressive posture as Rogue has done here. It also feels somewhat easier to defend with these openings. But I haven't seen too many games on this map to see what the more common answer is. Just usually on these similar, like same side spawn maps like this, I feel like most often I've seen players expand towards each other. I feel like the danger for somebody like ByuN is if you don't open this, maybe the Zerg can take advantage of it. I don't really know. I really know. It's kind of interesting. I do think that this map doesn't have a lot of dead airspace. I feel like there's not a lot of dead airspace on the side, so drops can be a little tougher. We also have a Liberator coming out, another thing that isn't going to be quite as good if there's not a lot of airspace. I think a medevac can sneak back here and hide, though. The Marines getting hit up here. The Queens are all up here, and now's the perfect time for the Hellions to go absolutely nowhere. ByuN tries to click them in. But there's a full wall. Rogue fully walled off here. Incredible stuff. Ooh, Marines are going to get out of there, but again, no dead airspace. That Queen is going to get a few shots off, and that medevac just has to go home. And the Hellions wanted to break through. Honestly, I feel like you could kill these somewhat easily. They're already losing hit points. I guess it would still take a while to break through. But Rogue's got roaches out now. His lair is nearly done, so it's going to be a minute before roach speed. But they can stay defensively for now. Meanwhile, ByuN just getting into Marines. Kind of a lot of Marines. 4th and 5th barracks going down before any third base. I'm sorry, was Rogue trying to take this gold? Okay. Rogue's insane. God, I love Rogue. Man, I miss casting Rogue. I feel like I haven't gotten to cast him much in the last 6 months or a year. What an entertaining guy to cast. Just incredible. Who does this? I like it. This can't be a thing people are doing, right? ByuN is starting to mine this out. It feels like he wants to take a third that way, or maybe just wants to push that way. Doesn't want to have to drop everybody over it. Because he still doesn't have a third base coming down, so it's just going to be a lot of Marines and Marauders. Meanwhile, Rogue is getting into an infestation pit and 1-1 and roach speed, but it's going to be a little while before all that hits. Stim is definitely going to be done by then. ByuN clearing up some of the creep out here to make it harder for Rogue to move that way. But this debris is getting very close to just dying, and ByuN's going for a very large Marine trap now over where that creep used to be. In fact, it looks like he's just going to push at the front. Oh, man, he might be able to take out roach speed here. What is he going to go for? He's going to go for the Evo Chambers, which I do think is a good call, and that's going to be no 1-1. Roach speed does finish up, at least for Rogue. But that's super rough. However, one thing I was actually thinking about, and I didn't say because it seemed so unlikely, and I wish I had, man. I had the foresight. I could have called this. Was the Swarmos. I was thinking about, hey, if you don't mine this out, Swarmos could be really good on this map. ByuN did mine this out, but Swarmos are still already out. ByuN is ready for a push. This is going to be a big push. Again, there's no third base. The Locusts are about to hit. This might be too late, though, and that's a bunch of dead roaches at the front. And now these Swarmos aren't going to have Locusts available for a while. They're going to get a lot of kills in here, though. It looks like they're going to be able to take out at least 3 add-ons. That's it, though. I feel like they could have taken out a barracks. I don't think that's enough. Liberator going to siege up. It is going to get taken down pretty much immediately, but the gold base is done. The tanks are going to siege up now. The infestation pit is going down. No more swarm hosts here. ByuN's push is feeling very powerful, and Rogue needs to buy all sorts of time. He is about to have his Locust back online, but his 1-1 seems like it's going to get taken out again. He's just been continuing to produce from these add-on-less structures for now, which I think is the right call for the time being. He wants to try to push for the win. Locusts are going to come in from the top, but I think there's too much DPS here. I don't think this Locust wave is good at all. It kills a handful of Marines, but that is not enough. I guess it allowed for 1 tank to get biled down. ByuN is going to pack up and go, at least not here. But he still doesn't have a third. This is very committed right now. He's starting to mine out from this main base. Now, granted, Rogue is only on 2 bases as well, but this gives Rogue a little bit of an ability to pull back and chill. If ByuN was on 3 bases, Rogue would be pretty much just dead right now. But he's not dead just yet. He's almost got his own third back up. But now, he sees his army moving over here. He's got to try to take a bit of a fight, but the Locusts are not here to help out. There's the pop right there. Is it too late, though? So many of the Roaches and Ravagers are already dead. The Locusts are going to hit the back line. And ByuN is just running away. Sure, he's going to lose the tank and a couple Marines back there, but he kills the Roach Ravager army, and I think without that, I don't think Rogue's going to have enough to actually fight this, and he agrees. GG ByuN takes him out with the big 2-base push. Just 2 bases, 5 barracks, just goes for the big old push and hits Rogue at kind of the perfect time. I think if that first wave of Locusts had been there to fight instead of going into ByuN's main base, I feel like we're looking at a very different, like a very different game there. But because it went to the main base, there just weren't enough Roaches to fight and like hold on to that gold, hold on to the third, and he's just waiting and waiting for those Locusts to come back around off cooldown. And now we'll go into game 2. It's going to be on Tokamak. See if Rogue can pull it back. I hope he can. Be nice to get a game 3. Let's hop on in, join our players in here. Spawning in the upper right-hand corner, we've got for the Shopify Rebellion, it is ByuN. And, of course, this one in the lower left-hand corner, it is none other than Rogue. Good to see these guys in here. I know we had a pretty low sign up today. Not a lot of people in the KSL bracket, but the GSL finals just finished up. Not even that long ago. Less than 24 hours ago. So we knew we were going to be missing a few players from that. But still got a really nice round of 4 here. We got ByuN and Rogue on this side. If Solar and Creator on the other side. Still battling it out to see who's going to meet in the finals. Can't be too upset about that. I'm glad ByuN got here, though. He was like literally 1 minute away from a walkover. We had been waiting 14 minutes since the end of the first round match. But he came online just in time. Apparently, he did tell somebody he'd be back. It just wasn't me. So I'm glad we waited for him. Didn't walk him over early. Because now we get ByuN versus Rogue. And man, this is just an all-time match right here. This has got to be one of the best, historically, one of the best matches ever. I can't think of a better one. Oh my god. Did you feel the temperature of chat just go way up? Juggernaut Jason. In here just making chat even more beautiful by the second. Incredible. Hope you're doing well, bud. I should have expected we got ByuN on screen. Of course, we're going to have JJ in chat. If only he would do a nice 2-on-1 16 Marine drop for you. Really bring us back to 2017 or so. What a beautiful time to be alive that was. We have a much more normal map here, so I don't expect anything quite like last game. I wasn't really sure what either player was going to do, and it's kind of fun to see players like ByuN and Rogue changing it up on those slightly more interesting maps, you know, the ones that aren't just standard macro maps. That's why we have them in the map pool, and some players make me very happy by keeping it interesting on those maps. ByuN is going to get a bit aggressive here. It's going to come over with a bit of a drop. Rogue getting a few more lings out. He's already got more queens on the way. Oh, it looks like an Overlord spotted this drop coming, so Rogue will be very prepared. Oh, hold on. Oh, that's an armory. Okay. So ByuN's getting a little aggressive with this drop, but he is going to keep these Hellions back right now. Because this is going to be some... Oh, man. I said bringing it back to 2017, but I wasn't expecting to bring it back to 2017 in this way. Man, I haven't seen a good Hellbat build in like a hot minute. Man, Juggernaut Jason comes in here. He says the stream is hot. And then what do we get is just the hottest build. Hellbats coming in. There was some Banshees as well. Cloaked Banshees even. So let's see what Rogue's got here. These queens are going to have to pull back. There's more queens on the way. Here's the queens from the main base. I'm a big fan of the strategy of sending in like 3 lings at once here. Rogue is not as big of a fan of that strat. He just sends them all in to die immediately to 1 volley of Hellbats. But the queens are holding on pretty strong here. That's a lot of queens. I think ByuN was trying to take advantage of the fact that queens cost a little bit more to make, and so a lot of players have been playing a little queen light lately. Rogue is not one of those players, but in the meantime, while the Hellbats and Marines are being held on against at the front lines, at least for the most part, the Banshees come in here and get 10 drone kills. That was just 1 Banshee. The second Banshee is hanging out with the Marines still. It's going to cloak up and continue to be annoying out front. Behind this, ByuN building a couple more barracks. He's getting into Marines. Stim is on the way. His wall is really, really good. Super, super good wall. But did a lot of damage. Banshee is still alive. In fact, both Banshees are still alive. So he's just trying to get as much damage as possible. It's 13 drones. Looks like other than that, he has traded quite well. Rogue, though, still, this is 3 bases, 58 drones right now. He's going to take the 4th. And he's got an eye on things over here. ByuN really doesn't have an army right now. So ByuN also lost everything that he had built to make that happen. It was a good attack. I think it got kind of the bare minimum. Not the bare minimum. It got enough done to make it worth it for ByuN. This is still really nice, though. I mean, this is just great stuff. Every little bit of damage makes this better for ByuN, and he's just buying time to get his next push ready. He's going to have a lot of Marines very quickly. He's building reactors on both of these. That is going to be 9 Marines at a time. Stim is already done. Combat Shields is on the way. 1-1 is on the way. He is just speed running into Marine tank off the back of this. And he's going to have a very powerful push in a little bit. So Rogue is going to have to be ready for that. His 1-1 is done. He's getting into Roach speed, so he's going for like a Roachling Bane composition. It seems to be. This is really nice, though. Just a small handful of lings. Pushing ByuN off of his 3rd base, delaying this push by a little bit. As he tries to gather his forces. The Bane Nest is not done yet, though. Neither is Roach speed. So Rogue is kind of desperately trying to get an army together right now. Popping some Ravagers here. He starts up a hive behind it, man. He's being attacked. He says, I don't care. 8-minute hive. Let's go. Lings coming in from the backside. Great focus fire to kill the 1 siege tank. I don't know if this is enough Roaches to deal with all these Marines. The lack of Banelings here is so painful. Queen is kind of 1v1ing the siege tank. It looks like the Roach reinforcements will be enough to send this back. ByuN is going to pick up the tank and get out of there. Again, he's got a lot of Marines coming out. That was a really nice way to force Rogue to just build a ton of units. See, Rogue's drone count is not very high. He's popping out 13 more right now. But ByuN doing a great job keeping the economy low. He sees that a hive is on the way. So I feel like that puts a bit of a clock on ByuN if he wants to just keep going with this super heavy Marine style. Jesus Christ. 3 more barracks go down as he's got 2-2 on the way. He's just going full frontal here. Full frontal. Rogue's got centrifugal hooks started up, but he doesn't have any Banelings on the way. And I don't know if he scouted a push out. It's just a ton of Marines, but you get enough Marines together, man, they can just kill Roaches. They do so much damage so quickly that it really can overwhelm the Roaches. Group spread is going to give Rogue a little bit of time. He's building 32 lings right now. But he's got to make some banelings, man. Buy a little bit of time with these biles. The tanks, though, are getting sieged up into position. There's more banelings on the way. Can he get any decent bane hits here? That's going to be absolutely crucial as the Marines dive in onto this fourth base, start getting onto the drone line, but they've cornered themselves a little bit. The banelings come in. ByuN not picking up. Oh, man, he takes 2 huge baneling hits in there. He's going to lose the tanks. The medevacs will just pull on out. But there's so much more behind this, man. Look at those supplies. The army supply of ByuN just doesn't seem to go down. However, Rogue has held on long enough to make that hive work for him. He's got Adrenal nearly done. He's got Vipers coming out. And ByuN, I don't think he really has any follow-up tech. He's getting Concussive Shell. But there's no Ghost Academy or anything. His 2-2 is done, so he's going to have that advantage for a little bit here. Rogue's +1 missile attacks is finishing up, so at least the Roaches will have something. But ByuN is just going to keep pushing, man. This is 8 racks of power here. That's a beautiful thing. Still building tanks as well. He has not stopped the tank production, which I think is a little surprising. But I think it's really good here against this composition. The Ravager count has never gotten particularly high. But the Viper is going to Blinding Cloud the siege tanks as the Banelings force ByuN to split for his life. They were some very good splits, but the Banelings aren't quite done yet. And there are still Roaches behind this. I don't think it's enough, though. Look at the medevac count. These last handful of units just aren't going to die, and GG gets called as ByuN closes out the series, taking down Rogue 2-0. Just, I mean, great stuff. Great stuff from ByuN. Hyper aggressive, kind of as we expect him to be. Not taking a chill pill at all. Rogue trying to get to the higher tech, but dealing with all of that pressure and all that harass and getting up into the hive proved a little too much. He didn't quite have the army to fight ByuN. He just barely had enough for pretty much all of those pushes.